It is Monday, as if I needed to remind you it's Monday. Um, I'm going to do talk a little bit technical today about an aspect of Enochian magic. And I know not all of you are just passionately interested in Enochian magic. It's sort of a specialized branch of ceremonial magic, but it is indeed very, very, very interesting and easier than you might imagine to get into. As a matter of fact, Dr. Hyatt and I wrote just almost a tiny little book called The Enochian World of Aleister Crowley, which has been subsequently published under various names and stuff. That gets you, literally, you could sit down and read the book in an hour or two and do an Enochian operation, a bona fide Enochian operation that night. But in response to an email that I got that concerned the planetary aspect of Enochian magic, in order for me to sort of prepare a response to that, I've got the material out in front of me here, and I'm going to share it with you today. First of all, the Enochian magic as practiced today bears kind of literal resemblance to the Enochian magic that Dee and Kelly were doing. Okay, Dee and Kelly, that's John Dee and Edward Kelly back in the late 1500s. Did most of their amazing angelic work just receiving the system, and there's not much evidence that once they got the system that they put it to or spent much time anyway putting it to practical use, and that duty fell to more modern magicians, in particular those of the Golden Dawn, and then Aleister Crowley picked up the ball and really ran with it. This book here, Enochian Vision Magic, is my attempt to painlessly as possible take you through step by step how Dee and Kelly arrived at the system, in order for you to have some foundational material to make some method to the madness. But as today's talk deals with angels, if you will, off of the elemental tablet of Earth. Now you'll notice there, the elemental tablet of Earth would be the equivalent of the Ace of Discs. Elemental tablet of Air, Ace of Wands, elemental tablet of Cups, Ace of or Water, the Ace of Cups, etc. Today we're going to talk about the elemental tablet of Earth. I'm just going to use it as my example because the same dynamics hold true on all of the elemental tablets. But you'll notice here that there are 4 quadrants of the elemental tablet of Earth, and those elemental sub-quadrants would be red for fire of Earth, water of Earth for blue there, air of Earth for yellow there, and earth of Earth for that green thing there. And they would be the equivalent of, well, Earth of Earth, Princess of Discs, Air of Earth, Prince of Discs, Fire of Earth, Knight of Discs. See, there's an enlargement of each of those subangles there. Water of Earth, and there's a blow up Now each of those letters that just appear as letters there, and that's how they appeared to D, just like that. But each of those letters can be viewed as an individual pyramid of its own, with an elemental mix of fire, water, air, and earth, all done in a tight-assed, anal, retentive, Kabbalistic perfection, permutations in each of those individual pyramids. Now, we're not going to get into that today. Okay, I just wanted you to know that. And be that as it may, what I've done for us here is I've given us a nice blow up for my illustration here, because we're going to talk about the planetary aspects. What does planetary aspects have to do with elements? Don't even, come on. Okay, the elemental planets have their elemental rulerships, and they're exalted in and ruling and detriment and ascendant. Oh, gee, the planet, you can't run away from the planetary or the elemental aspects of planetary stuff. Zodiacal too, you know. But anyway, have you turned me off yet? Anyway, this elemental tablet of Earth right here was given to D and Kelly just in letters at first, okay, in a square made up of little squares. The big square is 12 by 13. 12 by 13, 156, pretty cool. Okay, and it's separated by a column that a double column that runs vertically down the center, and a single row which runs horizontal right through the center. And then each of these things here is like this one right here would be the fire of Earth. Okay. Now, would you like to quickly learn how to contact, how to raise your consciousness to a planetary angel, a very large, general, huge, generic planetary angel of Earth? I'd like to talk to the Mars senior, that's what they're called, seniors of Earth, or the Venus senior of Earth. Now, what are these guys about? You need to go into trance and see what these guys are about. You're not whipping these up like Goetic spirits where you can boss them around to do some heavy lifting for you. This is big magic. This is magic where you actually project into the realm of that planetary senior of Earth. And it's the angel that shows you around, and your vision that you receive is the magic that you're doing. Do you have a reason to do that? Well, you better have a reason to do it. But once you do, feel confident you've got a reason to do this. I actually need to see what's going on that level of consciousness. And then it's easy to do. First of all, I'm going to show you. I hope you can see that I've darkened the lines of the Grand Cross. Okay, can you see the column there down the center is two vertical columns and one horizontal column. And you see I've got arrows pointing, and all the arrows start like right in the middle and go either left or right, or go from the center down or the center up. In other words, these are the seniors. Or that would be Jupiter, Luna, Saturn. This drives me crazy. Mercury, or that's Venus over there, and this is Mars over here. And they got names. Spell your name there. The Mars one, I don't know if you can see, I've got a little Mars there. Mars one starts right here. Ladrum. That's his name, Ladrum. Okay, now you'll notice I got a circular one right here, like a cinnamon roll that goes in, and it either stops here at the A, or it stops here on the L. Now that's a solar senior. That's the king. King senior, senior of the sun. And he comes in a pecking order on the elemental tablet. There is a pecking order, okay? You got to ask these guys bosses, or you at least have to wake up their bosses, okay, in order to get at the specific senior that you're going after. So in a temple opening for this, you have to start with the god name. And the god name is in 3 parts. And it awakens the whole tablet. The first 3 letters, Mor. The second 4 letters, Dial. And the final 5 letters, Hectica. So you have to go, Mor, Dial, Hectica, and then the whole tablet awakens. Okay. Now, I've already mentioned we've got 7 seniors here. So if we were going to do, say, the Mars senior, okay, which is the one that goes this way, okay, that's who we might shoot for. But we can't just jump right to talking to him. We have to also awaken in our little temple opening the senior, or the solar senior. And that solar senior, if we're thinking about a vision of the merciful side, Dean Kelly's words, of the angelic presence, we would end up like this. Ik zod he ka. And we'd end up there. But if we're really into the hard-nosed severity side of the coin, we would not end up at A. We would instead go Ik zod he ka, and jump straight to the L with our cinnamon roll. So, in a temple opening, which you could devise yourself, you could simply say, I invoke the great king of the north, Mor Dial Hectica, and the great king Ixod Hekal. Okay, the wording has to be yours. I mean, you can find very, very elaborate temple openings and things like that. If you're comfortable doing that, that's fine. Whatever it does to get you into the mood to finally do the Enochian call and have a vision of the particular senior that you're shooting for. One other thing I want to add before we get into that is those two columns of the Grand Cross and that one horizontal row, center row of the Grand Cross, there are 36 squares. Now, those 36 squares are the small cards of the tarot, plus their planetary assignment. And so they're all 36 of the small cards are on each elemental tablet. So no elemental tablet has cornered the market on all 36, but there's rulership. So this is the Earth tablet. So the first, oh God, let me get a thing like this. Right at the top there, here's our two things here. You'll notice there's Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. We got Capricorn, Venus, or Jupiter in Capricorn, Mars in Capricorn, Sun in Capricorn. Now, that just happens to be oh, this gets good. Hang on for a second. Be patient. That just happens to be the 2, 3, and 4 of discs. And look at that order. You see the squares? Okay. Isn't that just as slick as dog snot? And the second ones there, right here, we've got Virgo. Sol in Virgo. Venus in Virgo. Mercury in Virgo. And that just happens to be the 8, 9, and 10 of discs in that same order. And when you got a colored set, that's how those pyramids are colored. Okay. And the horizontal row here, where we got right here, this would be Taurus. So we've got the cardinal, fixed, and mutable signs, just like that. Okay, we got Mercury in Taurus, Luna in Taurus, and Saturn in Taurus. And if I have my things laid out correctly, there they are in the, let's see here, in the 5, 6, and 7 of discs, just like that. Okay, enough of all of that. Seniors, because they're so big, they're easy to call. Now, smalls, this is the way it is on all kinds of kind of Western or medieval magic anyway. The smaller the angel is on the hierarchical tree of things, if you will, the pecking order, the smaller the angel, the more bureaucracy exists above them. So in other words, you have to get more people on board. You just can't go into a large army camp and get a private to come do your work, because that private has a sergeant above him, and that sergeant needs to know that he can give you that private to do some work. And the sergeant can't operate completely on their own. They're responsible to their lieutenant. So you have to talk to the lieutenant too. And the lieutenant just doesn't operate by himself. So there's a captain or whatever the thing is. And above that, finally, you just can't even get into that camp unless the general at the top says, okay, you guys take care of this. So you got to talk to all those guys to get a little guy to do your work. But to do a big guy, you just need to be able to pick up the phone and talk to the big guy. And the big guy will then tell the captain and the sergeant and everything else. The big angels are easy to get. Like an archangel, when we're doing a banishing ritual, people say, gee, I'm calling an archangel. Well, fuck yeah. The archangel of air, okay, Raphael, is already there, okay? It's not like you have to go get him out of a closet somewhere. Everything in front of your nose between the north and the south, when you're facing east, is Raphael. He's really big, okay? It's easy to get the big guys. Same with the Enochians. It's easy to get the seniors. It's easy to get the god names. It's easy to get the solar king. And you only need one Enochian call. And in the case of the elemental tablet of Earth, you only need one call. That's call number 5, and it's short. So, if you were going to call any of those seniors off of this tablet, let me see if I can get the whole thing in the shot. If you wanted the Mars senior, Ladrum, or the Jupiter senior, Axanor, or the Luna senior, Lizinopo, I love that name, or the Venus senior, Alhectica, or the Saturn senior, Leonassa, or the Mercury senior, Ahimbaku, or Himliku. There's alternate spellings and stuff you have to deal with that and make decisions. And the king himself, the jelly roll in the middle, Exodhecha, for mercy, or Exodhekel, or Kael, for the severity. Choose one, because I'm going to read the call. And I may as well just, let's see here, hold this up while I read the call, if I can find the call. Call number 5. I'll read it in English first if you'd like. The mighty sounds have entered into the third angle and are become as olives on the olive mount. Looking with gladness upon the earth and dwelling in the brightness of the heavens as continual comforters, unto whom I fastened pillars of gladness 19, and gave them vessels to water the earth with her creatures. And they are the brothers of the first and the second, and the beginning of their own seats, which are garnished with continual burning lamps, 69636, whose numbers are as the first, the ends and contents of time. Therefore, come you and obey your creation. Visit us in peace and comfort. Conclude us as receivers of your mysteries. For why? Our Lord and Master is one. Now, these don't always make obvious sense at first, or sometimes ever. But you have to remember that this was received not in English, but in Enochian. And the Enochian turns out to be a real language that can be translated. And that's what the translation came out to. It's not just gobbledygook that is given the meanings, and the meanings are these words. No, it's a language. And the language was translated. Nouns are the same nouns, verbs are the same verbs. Adjectives, well, are weird. But anyway, it's a language. So here it is. Here is the elemental tablet of Earth. And for Mars, Ladrum, Jupiter, Axenor, Luna, Lizinopo, Venus, Alhectica, Saturn, Leonassa, and Mercury, Ahimliku. Sapa zimai didiu od noas taquenas adroch. Dod pal caosgi od fons peripsal tablior. Kasarma mizpi nazarthof od lugar zizap zleda. Caosgi tortorgi od zikie esiesk. El taviu od yadtild diesperal hubar pioal. Sobacorm fakis tala uls od kakokasab. Canis od darbs quaes. Fetharzi od bliora. Ial, edna cicles beglei. Giad. El. My tarot cards are flying off my desk, so I better, before I roll my chair back over them. That's it for today. I'm sure I confused 99% of you more than I informed. But I tell you, I'm never more witty, more brilliant, more off the top of my head, spontaneously brilliant as when I've got about 16 hours to write one sentence. And this book is filled with sentences like that. Enochian Vision Magic, if you're interested in it, even if I hadn't written it myself, I would recommend it to you. Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Do what thou wilt, shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.